So the first thing that we're going to address is your mind, okay? So your mind is really prompting you to practice gratitude during this time, okay? So this is an affirmation that you're going to want to kind of partake for yourself as of right now and moving forward for the rest of the month, okay? It says that today I will practice gratitude. I will get in the habit of saying thank you even for the problems in my life, because these challenges are valuable lessons I can learn from. Gratitude is the key that turns problems into blessings and the unexpected into gifts, okay? So a lot of times I do a gratitude journal in the morning because I find that when you really take a look at what you're grateful for, it allows more blessings and gifts to come in. So this is something that I feel is very important for you guys right now in order for new things to come in. Take a moment to really look around and see what things you can be grateful for. And it doesn't always have to be the things that are, positive in our lives. We need to acknowledge that there are some things that happen that might challenge us or really get us frustrated. But these are things that help us to really, really learn particular lessons about ourselves, others, and life. Okay, so these are gifts as well. So, really try to give gratitude when you're going through things so that you can understand that there is a lesson, there is something here to be acknowledged. So really showing gratitude can lift your vibration and allow more blessings and rewards to come your way. So just consider that. Now, I am using my Mona Lisa Mind and Body deck here. This deck is very, very special because what it does is it gives us a sneak peek as to what our body might be going through because of our thoughts, because what we think definitely can impact how our body responds, okay? So you got two cards here. Both of these cards, and I love the way that these cards are set up because they'll give you a negative aspect as to how you might be thinking, feeling, certain things you might be saying, and then putting the positive twist on it, just like we said, practicing gratitude. So, taking a negative and turning it into a positive. So the two things that I see here that you might be thinking, feeling, or even possibly saying have to do with struggling with finding the right way to say certain things to people in order for them to agree with you, okay, or to see your standpoint. I feel like with Sagittarius, I do have a child that's Sagittarius. I've had a couple of people in my life that I've dated or been friends with, and what I know about Sagittarius is that you guys are very, very you guys are very truthful, very upfront. Sometimes there isn't a lot of thought into the delivery, okay? And some people can take this as offensive or possibly take it wrong, and possibly feel like you have some type of sarcastic undertone to this. Now, don't get me wrong, Sagittarius does have a fun, loving, sarcastic side to them, but sometimes you guys are just literally speaking your truth about a situation or, pointing out something to someone, because you guys don't have any setback into that. You guys are, like I said, very truthful. So I think a lot of times you do get misunderstood as either being bossy or being very judgmental. So I'm sure that some of you that are watching here know what I'm talking about. But what you need to focus on is that there are multiple ways to look at any situation. So, just being open-minded to know that communication works just the way a telephone does, okay? So there's a microphone and there is a receiver. So really knowing when to listen and when to articulate and how to articulate, okay? So you are prompted to be able to understand that sometimes the way that you do address certain things might come off, like I said, in ways that are offensive to people, even though that's not the intent. And being able to understand that someone could look at something that you've said to be that way. I mean, because a lot of times you're taking the stance of, well, I didn't mean it that way. But if you understand that there's multiple ways to look at any situation and really getting some perspective to say, oh, okay, maybe that's why that person took it that way, your communication will flow a lot easier. I'm also getting the idea that sometimes for some of you, you might not be able to find the right way to articulate something because maybe some of you have been pulled to the carpet for the way that you do handle certain situations verbally. So now you're completely shut off from saying anything at all. So I really want you to take this time to really understand that there is a way to articulate, not that you need to change yourselves, but understand that, okay, well, maybe that person did take it this way. I don't perceive it as this way, but just having that open-mindedness and awareness is what I'm saying. And this will alleviate any communication issues that some of you may be having. Now, again, take this how it resonates. This might not be for every situation, for every Sagittarius, but this is coming up for someone. There is another card here that speaks about lowering your expectations in order for you to avoid disappointment and failure. Okay, some of you have been disappointed, feel like failures because you felt like you shot too high for a goal and it just didn't work out. And that's natural to say, well, next time maybe I won't expect so much. But the positive way to think about this is that failure is not as frightening as regret. Optimism, growth, and success are more likely to lead to happiness rather than avoiding challenge. So you're prompted not to lower your expectations just because you feel like you might fail or you might be disappointed, okay? Because you are doing yourself an injustice in that way. So this is what your body is saying to you. The reason why your body is saying this to you, if some of you might be experiencing some throat issues lately, some fevers, feeling very lethargic, very tired, very weak, and even some depression. And for some of you, I'm hearing like some moodiness, okay? And that's because some of you are trying to find that balance of communication, or there has been communication issues, which, you know, causes some stress and anxiety. And that goes hand in hand also with the failure and the disappointments. So we're talking about depression as well. So you want to try to avoid looking at things in such a negative in order for you to be able to avoid your body from going through those things that I've just mentioned, okay? Now, we're going to take a sneak peek at what your soul is saying, okay? So you did get one of my cards that I just love. This is from my Universal Love deck, and this is the Dreams card, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just read what it says, because this is a very, very deep card here, okay? So let's just go here. All right. It says that waves of healing energy flow through you as you sleep, subconsciously restoring balance and healing unresolved emotional issues. An issue which most probably stems from a past life is being processed and healed in your dream state. You might not be aware of the issues that impact you negatively in your life. It manifests through unexplained negative feelings, self-doubt, and irrational fear. The good news is that there's nothing you need to do. Just be patient, allow the process without trying to make sense of it. Trust, for you will soon be free of the negativity that so often has sabotaged your progress in the past. Wow. A brighter, more confident you soon surfaces. Okay? So absolutely what we've been talking about here. There are some past issues, and for some of you, if you believe in past lives, some of you have had, old issues of disappointment and failure and self-doubt and low confidence that are resurfacing into your life in the present. And so while you're sleeping, some of you might be having some dreams, some nightmares. Those things are being dealt with subconsciously while you're sleeping, because you're having a hard time dealing with them in the waking. And so sometimes your body tries to heal itself in slumber, because it's just too much for you guys, sometimes to deal with while we are awake in reality. Okay, so this is why practicing gratitude is going to be very, very important for you, because this is going to lift your vibrations away from, this negative feeling or energy that's coming your way. Now, let's take a look here. So we talked about your mind, your body, and your soul. Let's talk about healing, okay? So you guys got the medicine of the rainbow jaguar, okay? So let's take a look at what direct message we have here, all right? In terms of healing, what it is that we need to know, what is really going on with us as a whole, okay? It says that you are going through a transition. Cultivate hope and stay true to your intentions. Let nothing divert you from your true path. If you have a new project, vision, or lifestyle that you are seeking to bring into the world, Ixchel, okay, this is the card here, is guiding and guarding you for a healthy birth. She also brings a message that there are times when fierceness is necessary. It is important that you cut off negative sources completely at this time and do not allow yourself to be used or exploited. This is not the time to indulge someone else's ego or go against your own inner knowing in order to give someone the benefit of the doubt. Trust your instincts and break immediately from what isn't right for you. This will bring you new opportunities and situations that are worthy of your passionate devotion. Absolutely. So you guys are going through a transition right now. We're working on ending these old cycles of self-doubt, low self-esteem, low confidence, failure, disappointment, and you are being worked on. You are having a spiritual surgery done while you're in the sleep state, okay? And that's because you are moving into transition, so this is absolutely beautiful. Let's go ahead and take a look at, let's see what the goddess, yes, okay. All right, so you got divine passion here. It says, be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? And this is very perfect for you guys, because right now, you guys are feeling, I feel like you guys are really being challenged with wanting something to happen or wanting to do something, but feeling like things are going to fail, feeling like things are going to, disappoint you. So you have to be honest with yourself and say what it is that I want, and really take the initiative to have that mental intention that this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be afraid of failing. I'm not going to lower my expectations. So that's what I see for you guys so far. So so far so good. It's all going into alignment. Let's see what your spirit guides, angels, loved ones that have passed on have to say to you, okay? They're surrounding you each and every day, and they have a message for you. And let's see what that direct message is for you today, Sagittarius, okay? I'm calling all spirit guides, angels, and loved ones from the other side surrounding Sagittarius. What is it that you want them to know? What is the most important message today in order for their healing, in order for them to move forward? What would you like them to know? Okay, out it comes. All right, so this is your message. Dear you, what is true for you? Can you be impeccable with your word? Sure you can. As long as it's not used to manipulate others, the truth can set you free. Let go of the results, let go of your fears, and allow the truth to empower you and others. This will set into motion a kind of change that will be supportive of you and loving and all kinds of prosperous. This is not a time to compromise and hide your truth from others. Whatever it is you want, go for it and be clear in your motives, especially with yourself. You will be so happy that you did. This is a time where you will tap into the power to co-create and manifest your best life. Doesn't that feel amazing? And the results? Miraculous. When you tell the truth and ask the same of others, you can learn a lot from life's bountiful lessons and achieve your dreams. Love you always. Absolutely. Okay. So the message here is, let's show some, gratitude for ourselves and for others. Use our communication like a telephone, thinking of times to speak, thinking of times of when to listen, knowing to be very aware of the delivery, not snuffing out your truth, of course not that, but really saying what you need to say and hearing what you need to hear, okay? But let's do this, with tact, of course. For some of you, don't lower your expectations. Go for what you want, okay? It says it here, all right? And you are being worked on, okay? You are being worked on and released from these old negative thinking patterns, and you are prompted to follow your passion, okay? And so you are going through this transition because something new is definitely coming in for you, Sag. So this is your mind, body, and soul forecast.